What's poppin', fam? Welcome to Don't Touch My Mindset, a podcast that is designed to uplift, inspire, and motivate you, and most importantly, share tools to help you protect that mindset. Hopefully you are too. Welcome. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you for rocking with us. Happy Mindset Day. Happy you're here. If this is your first time here, please press the follow button, the subscribe button, whatever it may be. Rate, review, and if anything resonates from this episode, share it with a friend. You never know what they might need to hear. Share it with a friend. I'm super excited because we're closing out February. But that just means that spring is coming. Spring is coming. We're almost around to new beginnings, new thoughts, right? We're almost done with the first 60 days, heading into the last 30 days of this 90-day cycle. Jay, that's too many days, I know, but still, listen to me. There's only two timelines, 90 days and 10 years. And what you do the next 90 days is going to take you closer to what you need to do in the next 10 years. So that's why I'm here for you. I got something super special today, though. That's a whole nother episode, but today I got something super special for you. You hear me talking about my business partner, my good friend, somebody who holds me accountable to become the better man that I am, somebody that is down this path of personal growth and development, just as I am. And his name's Brandon Burns, and we together we met, we linked up. He's an amazing business strategist. Right, he's worked with some of the biggest personal brands in the world. No, this is not Pivotal Moments. This is something special that we've created together. As you guys know, I help emerging leaders manage destructive emotions and habits so they can achieve and maintain and grow their business. But what Brandon does is help businesses grow, strategize, and optimize performance, man. And I'm like, I'm working with some leaders that don't even think they're in the position to offer themselves to the world and their products because they don't know how to strategize, they don't know how to optimize, they don't believe in themselves. There's so much work to go deep. So then we started taking this little shifted focus to helping leaders and entrepreneurs grow and develop as whole human beings, right? From the inside out to their business from the inside out. So I just want to introduce you guys. I know you guys hear me talk about him all the time, but I want to introduce you to Brandon Burns. Brandon, how are you? Please tell everybody who you are, what you do, because I'm pretty sure that I did not do a good job of it.
No, you did a phenomenal job, man. Thank you so much for that intro. I'm a little nervous now. I like it when people set the expectations low because then I feel like I got a shot. After an intro like that, I'm just nervous. I'm going to mess it up. You gave such high expectations, but man, no, I'm blessed. I'm glad to be here. But basically, I help businesses start, strategize, scale. I've worked with a lot of different personal brands, specifically with coaching businesses. That's really my area of expertise, my specialty. But any brand, personal brand that wants to take that and turn it into a legitimate business with what I would call enterprise value, right? I think that the biggest mistake that I see from people in this 21st century business environment where everybody is a personal brand and basically every business has a social media brand of some sort, and we see these influencers like Eric Thomas, who I've worked very, very closely with. We see influencers like Grant Cardone or Gary Vee, and we watch how they've taken that personal brand and that connection with their audience and turned it into a business where it's a little bit beyond just selling something to someone, right? And that's what a lot of people do. And that's kind of where I step in. Is somebody has a personal brand, they say, hey, I've got an audience and I want to come up with something to sell them. And it's like, well, wait a minute. If you just have one little transaction here and there, that's not a business. That's just you're no offense, you're like a used car salesman. No offense, but you're like a used car salesman. You just happen to have something over here in the corner that you're willing to sell, and you just try to make a transaction. But when we can teach people to take their brand and systematically build out a structure, build out a system, build out a machine that can consistently and predictably produce profits over 10, 20, 30, 40 years. That's how you create generational wealth. That's how you create businesses with enterprise value where you can sell them and you can detach it from your personal brand if you want to. And I think that's a place where a lot of people stumble. But what's interesting about that, and I don't want to go on too much of a tangent or a rant here, but what's interesting about it is you can't do that until you develop as a leader. Like until you develop yourself to the point where the ego has come down enough for you to be able to step back and work on the business rather than be the face of the business or be in the business 24/7, you're never going to be able to get to that point until you are at a point of development where you've conquered a lot of your own internal limiting beliefs, a lot of your own challenges, a lot of your own adversity and opposition. You're not going to be able to help anybody else get through that. You're not going to be able to train your employees. You're certainly not going to come up with a business that is adding value to other people or coaching people or pouring into them or whatever it is that you're selling. Doesn't necessarily have to be a coaching business, but you're not going to be able to be a better entrepreneur than you are a person. And that's why I think this thing is so powerful, because you come at it from a leadership standpoint. I come at it from more of a business standpoint, and one cannot exist without the other.
That's good. So today is all about you, and not Brandon, but you, the listener, and your development of becoming a better leader, becoming a business owner, an entrepreneur, somebody who has watched my journey and said, Jay, I love what you're doing and I want to do what you're doing. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I couldn't do this if I didn't develop first, and I couldn't do this without somebody like Brandon. Honestly, 100%. And that's why it dawned on me. And as I do select few coaching to some leaders I spend some extra one-on-one time with, and I help them build their personal brand, decide what they want to do, get clarity, get vision. But when it comes to systemizing them, I'm like, you better go find your guy. And that's what's so valuable, what you bring to the table, because I always tell everybody, I'm not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. I know what I'm good at. I know where my passion lies, and I know who I speak to, and I know what I do, right? I know what I do, and that's the beauty of this partnership, is that we're bringing true development in all areas of your life, not just mindset, not just business, not just relation, like all of it, from mind, body, soul, intimate relationships, networking relationships, to your business, what you do and how you do it, right? And much more to beyond that. So I'm super excited. Tell me, Brandon, so everybody knows, what does true development mean to you as a whole, and how can we start true development? If we're listening to this and we're like, okay, yeah, I do have a business. Yeah, I do want to start something. I got a nice product. I don't really know where to go with it, or how to, determine the value of my customer. And you say, I got to develop as a leader. Where do I even start with? This is so much business stuff. Where do I even start? And what is true?
I think true development means exactly what you just said a second ago, which is development in every aspect. If you are somebody who makes 8 figures a year but is 400 pounds, you're not developed. You can't be. If you make 8 figures a year and you've been divorced 6 times, you're not truly developed. If you have a phenomenal relationship and you're in the best shape of your life, but you're making minimum wage, you're also not truly developed.
No question.
And people don't talk about that one enough, right? It's funny, the space of entrepreneurship these days. I think a lot of people are talking about balance in the sense of, well, you've got to take care of your physical health, you've got to take care of your intimate relationships, you've got to take care of all these other aspects. And we look at people who are already making money when we say that. But a lot of times we look at people, what we miss is the people who, on the surface, everything looks really happy and they've got 2 dogs, a wife, and a white picket fence. And, we think that everything's really, really good because they've taken care of their health. They've taken care of their relationships, but they make 50 grand a year and we think that that's okay. And I'm not judging those people, but I am saying that there's so much there that you haven't unlocked yet. Now, if you're truly happy with that, then that's okay. But you can't tell me that you've truly developed, because there's so much more that you could be contributing to society and so much more that you could be doing to add value to others in a systematic way that grows exponentially. And if you were doing that, you would make a lot more money. So you can't call yourself truly developed until you've maximized every aspect of your life. But to your question, what can somebody do to start right now who maybe already has a product or a service and is looking to develop that? And it's so funny because I didn't plan on speaking about this before you asked me that question. but we're both men of faith, right? The first thing that I would tell everybody to do is pray to see your value the way that God sees your value.
Come on now, talk about it.
Because what a lot of people do is they'll come up with their coaching program, or they'll come up with a course, or they'll come up with a product, and it's one and done, right? And this is how we mesh a lot of the things that you and I believe in with the business strategy and some of that tangible, tactical stuff. It's a one and done transaction, right? Well, if you really saw your own value the way that God saw your value, you would understand that one interaction with you is not enough. You would understand that you have so much to pour into other people and so much value to add and provide to the lives of others that it's not enough to hang on to a customer for one transaction and be done. From a business fundamental standpoint, it doesn't make any sense either, because let's think about it this way. Let's just take you as an example. If you have a coaching program, right, and you're charging $3,000 for that coaching program, then you could acquire customers for, let's just say it would make sense to acquire a customer for $1,000. So amongst all of your advertising efforts, all of your outreach efforts, the time that you've spent, VAs that you hired, like whatever that customer acquisition process is for you, it costs you $1,000 to get one new customer, but that customer is worth $3,000 to you. That leaves $2,000 in profit. It's not bad, but when we start to say, well, hang on a minute, if I really believed in my value and I really believed in what I'm doing and I really believe in how I could be helping all these other people, then maybe a 6-week coaching program for $3,000 isn't enough. And forget about the money, but just 6 weeks of me pouring into these people isn't enough. That's why I said you guys start with the faith, the belief in who you are and what you do and whose you are and what you're supposed to do. And so anyway, what you can do is say, well, maybe it's a 6-week program for the $3,000 here. But after those 6 weeks are done, I've got a community that you can enroll into for $200 a month. And in that, we call that downselling the upsell. So in the customer's mind, $200 a month is way cheaper than what I was just paying. So of course I want to continue this relationship. You get to add more value to them and their lives. So you are fulfilling in a very legitimate way more of your purpose, because there's nothing more godly than entrepreneurship, because you are literally being a creator. You're creating value. You're creating programs that wouldn't have been able to exist without you. So there's nothing more spiritual than being an entrepreneur. But all of that aside, when we take a look at the tactics of it, let's say that your average customer sticks around your community for 6 months. That's an average of $1,200, right? 6 months times $200 a month. So now every single customer that you acquire is no longer worth $3,000. They're worth $4,200 on average, which means what? Now I can spend $2,000, $2,500 on customer acquisition, which means what? I can scale up my ads. I can scale up my outreach. I can hire more people. I can afford to spend money to acquire customers because now the lifetime value of each customer has increased. And so now from a business standpoint, it makes sense to be able to outspend my competitors, which is something that I never would have been able to do before. It makes sense to outinvest my competitors, which is something I never would have been able to do before. So you're adding more value to people, and you're adding more money to your pocket, and you're growing your overall business and brand, which over the long run is going to allow you to have a lot more options, because you do this for 5 or 6 years. Now we've got a brand. Now it's not just Jay Chase. Now it's Don't Touch My Mindset. Now it's like you've got a brand under you where you have a million different options. If you want to go into apparel, you want to go into this, you want to go into that. Now you've got an audience that you can automatically sell to and continuously add value to. So the first thing that anybody should do if they want to get started on true development is you got to start with the belief and the faith in yourself and why you're here and why you want to be an entrepreneur in the first place. And I believe that that starts with just asking for some clarity on how your creator sees you, so that you will begin to believe in yourself the way that he believes in you. From there, we would implement the tactical strategy of increasing the lifetime value of your customers by always having a what's next, always having something else to sell your customers. I don't want to go too deep in that. We got to keep some stuff on the table now, Jay. You got me excited.
I love it. I got you excited. My man said, "Hey, give me the baton. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run." Yo, no, you're absolutely right. You start with the want to. You start with the belief factor. You start with the thought that I can, right? And that's what holds most of us back. But once we break that wall, and this happened to me, guys, like 100%. Like, y'all know me. I was selling cars for 9.5 years, and I got out of business in November. I retired. I retired at the age of 29 and went into entrepreneurship. Like, I'm done with the car business. But during those first 30 days, what am I doing? I had mindsets to break. There was one time where I was like, yo, maybe I should go get on welfare while I don't got a job. What do you mean while I don't got a job? I am my job. So once you break that belief that I can do this, then you got to break the belief that I will do this, right? Right? We're gonna break it down, right? And we're gonna break down that I will do this, that there is no other option. We got to burn all ships, but you don't just wake up and get there, right? If you don't know yourself, you can't grow yourself, right? So the thing is that most entrepreneurs, most leaders don't know what they will do once they get through that mindset of I want to. Does that make sense? Man, I'm telling you, and that's the beautiful thing about true development and what we've created with the podcast. We got something else special for you, so hang around to the end. It's the fact that we're going to teach you what everybody's teaching you on Instagram and some, what everybody's teaching you on TikTok and some, because I can tell you that there's some entrepreneurs, some business owners, some people who's reaching and pitching to you about becoming your own boss. And some of y'all don't even, man, I love some of y'all need more systems than you expect. And you don't even know it about yourself. Right. And so that's why I say you don't know yourself, so you can't grow yourself. You're spending money on these products of people telling you that you need something, and you don't even know who you are. Yo, we're going to focus on leadership development. We're going to focus on business development, business strategy, start, scale, success, all of it. What I want to encourage anybody who's listening to this to do is, one, examine yourself and ask yourself, am I living my best life right now? Am I doing everything that I want to do 100% top tier? If money wasn't an option, if I didn't have to, trade my time for money, would I be doing exactly what I want to do? Don't be disheartened if you say no. Don't be discouraged. Don't turn off the podcast, but listen to this. Oh, you have a chance. You have a chance. I believe that every single one of us are leaders, and we just have to develop, and that starts from inside of us. I believe that we can all leverage the opportunities in front of us with the right mindset, the right relationship, right? The right people, with our own unique contribution to the world, our own superpower. We can do, be, have whatever we want. That's my whole message, guys. You know me, the art of becoming. And if you want to start a business, start a legacy, generational wealth, I send you an invitation, dude. I send you an invitation. Do that as well. Is that, April 3rd through April 7th, Brandon Burns, Jay Chase, me, we're putting on a True Development Summit. It's completely free, because we really just want to add value to everybody in the world, in the world, one, but everybody in the room. We want to add value. Like, we want to, one, Brandon's done this with the most elite personal brands in the world, right? And two, I've spent 6 years doing this for myself, with myself, right? And on top of that, I'm going to give you the first part of the strategy to get you to your first $20,000 a month. Brandon's going to give you the second part while we're there. And we want to add so much value to you that you attend this summit, you sit here, you give us some time, April 3rd through April 7th, and you race to that 20K, and you know that you can. You have the systems to fall back. You have the want to plus the how to, and you got us to fall back on. Like, we got your back. So, I just want to say thank you, guys. I like to keep the episode short. This one's a little bit longer. Not too motivational, more informational. Hopefully it was able to provide you some inspiration, and we can turn that into implementation. True development, untitled.summit.com. Go register, secure your spot. Brandon, tell the people whatever you want to tell them. What's on your mind? How you feel? I know you talk about you got excited. Well, I got excited.
Listen, I think that there's an epidemic of fake gurus right now. There's so many people who are on social media, who are online, who are in this space that are claiming to have the secrets, right? It's like, I got the keys, I got the secrets to everything you've ever wanted. And it's a very fake marketplace right now. And I think that what's so special about the True Development Summit is you've got a guy like Jay who's been working through this step by step from ground zero. Y'all already know Jay's story. Leadership development, like, he lives that. That's who he is. And he's been doing that, like you said, for the last 6 years. So you're getting somebody who's seen both sides of it, who knows exactly where you are right now, whether you're starting from rock bottom, whether you are in the midst of your leadership development journey, of your self-development journey, or whether you're already at the top and you're looking to go to a brand new level. You're looking to go from excellent to elite, from great to phenomenal. He's your guy that can help you because he's been there and he's actually done it. Same thing with myself, having worked with a lot of these brands. It's not theory. It's not in the lab. This is real life strategy that's been tested and proven with some of the biggest and best brands in the entire world. And I'll say this, I am willing to bet that this free event, that you will get more tangible value out of it than the last conference that you paid for. I will go as far as to say that if you show up to all 5 days of the summit, if you are there all 5 days, camera on, engaging, and you feel like you got less value from this than whatever the last conference or event that you went to that you paid for, send me an email at iambrandonburns@gmail.com. I'll cash up you $10. Let's make it $20. I'll cash up you 20 just for your time. That's how confident I am in the content that we're going to bring to this. We want to make this free event better than everybody else's paid event, and it will be. And so I encourage you to share this. If you watch this episode and you're like, you know what, I want to give these guys a shot. Maybe I haven't even heard of these two before, but I want to give them a shot. I think that they might have something that could help take me to another level, maybe help me get to that 20K a month as an entrepreneur. Share this with somebody else who's going to get value from it. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Either you're going to get paid to come get some fire information for 5 days, or you're going to get some fire information for 5 days. You're going to execute on it. You're going to go make 20,000 next month. That's it, Jay. That's all I got.
I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. We ain't gonna take up no more of your time. Thank you for tapping in. Yo, we are back on Sunday. Yo, we're closing out the podcast. We are closing out the podcast. Not the series, just the season. All right. Season 4 is coming to an end. We got like 3 more mindsets, one more pivotal moment, and but that's not all you're gonna hear from me. Because Brandon and I are actually starting a True Development podcast. Like I said, man, our goal is to add value to leaders that will multiply the value. That's our goal. That's our goal. Be fruitful, multiply, govern. That's it. That's it. That's all we want to do. And know that this is coming from a place of sincerity, because I'm just mad at the market. I'm tired of people literally promising you this, promise you that, this program, that program. I promise you guys, I spend 10% of my yearly income on personal development every single year. I honestly do, one of my rules. And the 3rd program I bought last year, I said, bro, this is the same I learned. Same thing. So we have came up with something that is directly catered to your development. I'd hate for you to miss it. Yo, until then, until April 7th or April 3rd or until next week, all right, stay focused, stay inspired, stay connected, and please, 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 don't let anyone touch your mindset.